because I unfortunately am a morning person. I like that lifestyle better of going to bed early and waking up early. It makes me feel more productive, but I don't think that's going to be possible here because I woke up at 4 and it was still so loud. I've noticed that the city goes to bed kind of early and wakes up really early. But everybody except for my upstairs neighbor. I'm in an apartment now. My old location, or my old place that I lived, was in the United States, and it was a house. I was renting a house because I swore I would never live in an apartment again because they're so noisy. You can hear everyone walking around. I had almost forgotten how noisy they were. So I've been waiting the past 2 hours for my neighbor to turn their TV off. And I have class at 9 a.m. tomorrow, Spanish class. I am at an A2 level for Spanish, so I'm trying to bring that up to conversational. Basically, I can read it okay, but I can't communicate everything that well. Anyways, so let me get into why I'm here in Mexico City. Basically, I want to start off by saying or explaining that in my entire life, since I was 16 years old, I have not stopped working. I got a job as soon as I turned 16, and ever since then I have been working non-stop, and I'm 26 now. When I graduated from university, I graduated on a Friday and started my full-time corporate job the following Monday. Never any breaks. Every summer I had internships, and every break, even like winter break, I was an RA in college and I was working. I could take any hours that I could, and it's just been non-stop. And when I started this channel, as it grew, I knew that I needed to put more time into it, and it meant staying up late or waking up early to work on it before work and edit and things like that. And I had no time to do anything. I was putting art aside. I paint and I draw, and I haven't been doing that at all really recently. And I just felt totally overwhelmed. And then with quarantine happening, me and my partner realized that if we didn't take some sort of chance to pursue our creative hobbies and see if we could make them our full-time jobs, like, now's the time to do it. We don't have kids, we don't have a house. It's like, when these things happen, it becomes almost impossible. So we're like, hey, we both don't like our jobs. Let's quit our jobs and move to Mexico. So I don't know if I'm explaining this too well. Essentially, I'm taking a sabbatical from corporate America and trying to be a full-time ASMR artist, and also have time to learn Spanish, live in a new country, and work on my art. And I even have a couple more goals beyond that. Like, I really want to write a book. I want to read even more. It's been hard for me to read lately. I've been so distracted with everything going on. And so here I am, trying, being a full-time YouTuber, I guess, which is so surreal for me to say. And it absolutely would not have been possible if it weren't for you guys, my Patreon supporters, you guys who watch my videos and put up with my sponsorships. That's so incredibly appreciated. I've mentioned before that I came into this with absolutely no audio or video skills whatsoever. So everything has been a really intense learning curve for me. But I'm so grateful that you guys put up with makes me so incredibly grateful. And I know that in this new space with kind of potentially new sounds and things like that, that I just hope it doesn't bother you guys too much. So let me expand a little bit more on the aspects outside of ASMR, but I know bucket lists are cheesy, but 2 items on my bucket list are live in a new country and learn a second language. I took Spanish in high school and I was really, really bad at it. And for the past year or 2, I've been trying to self-study it because I want to learn a new language. And when the opportunity came up for us to move to Mexico, it was kind of the perfect storm. So I'm taking an intensive Spanish class for a month, and then I'm gonna let it sink in, and then maybe take one more round of classes and see where I am there. Then, living in a new country, I think I'm going to make a new video entirely about my experience here so far. I've only been here a week, so I wanted to settle a bit more, maybe in a month or so, and talk about the differences between America, or the United States, and Mexico. It is still quarantine here, obviously, so I'm self-isolating, so I'm not meeting anybody new or anything like that, so I think the true experience of living in another country won't happen until, I don't know, July or so. So I'm really taking these months to find a setup that works for me to be able to shoot videos, get used to the city in general. I refuse to drive here. Driving here is so chaotic, so I walk everywhere. So yeah, I'm just kind of getting used to everything. I have done a study abroad program in Germany when I was in college, so I kind of have experienced not being able to communicate with people, like the grocery store clerk and things like that. I'm very used to miming things out, so that part's not too scary, but there are a lot of parts of a city this big in a country like this where I'm still very much getting used to them. So wish me luck. If you have any suggestions for places I could go post-quarantine, or outdoor places like the pyramids and things like that. I have been to Mexico City before, twice now, so I know a decent amount about it, but I haven't done too many touristy things yet. It's been a while since I've done a chatting only video. I do kind of miss videos like this that are just more low-key and me connecting with you guys and talking about my life and my hobbies and things like that. I want to try to make more videos like this. If you guys like them, you can let me know if you're a fan of these, or if you're really more of a fan of role plays, and I don't know, maybe I can find some sort of balance. Now that I'm doing this full time, I would like my output to increase to 2 videos a week, but I'm not expecting that to happen until I finish this first round of Spanish classes. Then I'll have a little more free time, and I really want to find a soundproof studio that I can rent, because we're renting this apartment, so obviously building a giant soundproof room isn't gonna well, if you come back to the States, you have your job back, so I'm like, relatively risk-free. We'll see. But yes, what I was getting at is I really wanted just to thank you guys so much. If you are interested in supporting me further, I do have a Patreon. Not to plug that too much, but I do have a Patreon where I post an extra video a month. And if you're part of my Peony tier, I send you a handwritten note and a drawing for only $5. Okay, I'm done. But yeah, what else? Other things for my channel that I'm thinking about during this sabbatical, besides upping my output to 2 videos a week, who knows when that will happen, is also to start Twitch streaming. I have been watching a lot of Twitch streams lately. I really like Slight Sounds, of course, GB, and I'm discovering a lot of new artists like Julietta ASMR. I like her streams. It's hard for me to watch them live, so I'll go back and watch the reruns or their old videos or their old streams when they're no longer live. I'll watch those all the time. So I'm starting to consider how to get into that. I would do a mixture of ASMR and gaming. I have talked about it before, but I used to be way more into gaming than I am now. Especially in high school, I played every MMO you could imagine. Guild Wars, EverQuest, WoW. I was into them all, and then college came and I just didn't have the time or the money to pay any kind of monthly subscription. So I put it on hold and I haven't picked it up with the same intensity ever since then. Now I tend to play more indie games, like Undertale is my all-time favorite game of all time, and I'll play every once in a while when I hear a game is amazing, such as The Last of Us and Red Dead Redemption, things like that, but I'm definitely not into Overwatch, so I probably won't be doing any kind of live competitive games. I'm not very good at those. I had a really long League of Legends phase. My whole family, me, my dad, and my brother, we would all play together. My dad was the worst, but it was sweet that he was playing with us. I was okay, and my brother made it to the top 50 in North America, ranked. And I know people out there are not going to believe me, but it's true. He's like a really competitive gamer. He actually took 6 months also before college to try to be a professional gamer. It didn't work out because it's really hard to become a full-time gamer, and he wasn't interested in Twitch streaming, but he also played Overwatch, and he was in, when he moved from League of Legends over to Overwatch, he was once again like top 50 North America. He's crazy. He spends like 12 hours a day gaming. But I digress. For Twitch, I would do more casual gaming, and I don't know, I haven't quite decided yet, and that will definitely be dependent on how good my internet service ends up being here. It took 5 days for them to install Wi-Fi here, 3 separate trips, and like every time they did not show up on time, and I think just things run a little bit slower and less efficiently here, so I'm getting used to that and trying to be patient. Obviously, it is also a very strange time right now. So I need to learn more about Twitch streaming, what gear I need, things like that, but it's on my 2021 goal list. And another last idea that I'm toying with is starting a side channel. The reason I have not done that yet is because editing skills, like I have mentioned, are not that good. In ASMR, it's not that complicated most of the time. It's just cutting out when a loud sound passes, which I've had to do a lot in this video because there are 100 trucks driving past my house every 5 minutes. But anyways, I feel like a true vlog style video requires a lot more skillful editing. I haven't decided what kind of videos I would make. Maybe things like how to move to Mexico City, or coolest places in Mexico City, or art tutorials, things like that, which I know I can always put on my ASMR channel, but sometimes it's easier to just not focus on making them relaxing. For example, I know this video probably is not extremely ASMR inducing, but I just really wanted to update you guys on what's going on with my life. I do talk about it more on Twitter, even though I'm not crazy active on there. I try to, post pictures and stuff. What else? The side channel wouldn't really be a thing for at least another couple months, and I would have to think about what kind of content I would want to put on there. I do like the idea of it just being anything and everything. Maybe even how to start your own ASMR channel, even though I know that's been covered before. Maybe more book videos where, once again, the focus isn't necessarily the sounds, but more an intense, bland review of books. When I do a book video on my channel here, I don't prepare all that much. I think it shows a little bit. I just talk about it, whatever comes to mind about the book. I don't really research the author or have any really coherent thoughts, which would be easier to do in a non-ASMR video. What else? So, a quick recap. I quit my corporate job in the United States. I moved to Mexico City. I'm going to try to be a full-time content creator here. See how it goes. In all likelihood, I will move back to the United States. I probably will get another job, preferably one that isn't as soul draining, or work from home opportunities, which I think after COVID will be much more common. I may or may not start Twitch streaming, open a side channel, and start posting more, so keep an eye out for those. I do want to say, I know I'm in a very privileged position to be able to do this. I had this idea in my head for a while, and I worked really hard to save up to be able to do this. And just the fact I get so much support from you guys, and my sponsorships and things like that just open so many doors. And I know this is not just something anybody can do. Just quit their job and move to a new country and try to, start this whole new lifestyle. There's a motorcycle. There he goes. So I just want to say, recognize that it is strange, it's surreal. I'm not making any kind of crazy money from YouTube. This is only possible because Mexico is a low-cost country. There's all these factors that just are allowing me to do this, that I want to put out there. And already I know, I've noticed, this lifestyle is not for everyone. I got a large amount of comfort from was done, I was able to do whatever hobby I wanted, and now I've noticed that my mind is always on. Work has kind of become my whole life. I don't get weekends off. Things like that. So it's definitely a very unique lifestyle, being your own boss. My type A personality definitely is helping. I've budgeted everything that you can think of, any situation. And I feel like I'm prepared to try this. I think the most challenging thing is going to be learning a new language and finding quiet time to shoot videos and continue putting out content that you guys want to watch. I really do want to know though if you like videos like this, where I'm more just chatting and rambling. It's hard to decide how much of yourself to put into your videos, and I know the obvious answer is put all of yourself into it, but that's very vulnerable. It's letting people know everything about you and everything about who you are, and then when some mean commenter is like, you're annoying, you know, I see the pimple on your nose, like the comments. When you're being 100% authentic, it hurts even more. So that's why some YouTubers definitely have sort of a customer service persona, which I do sometimes. But my favorite ASMR artists are the ones who I really feel like I know and I'm friends with. I don't know if that's healthy or not, but I'm sure if you watch ASMR regularly, you can relate, where you feel like you're almost friends with the ASMR